What's up, everybody? Welcome back to today's video. We are going to be talking about the influencer cards that were just announced that are going to be in this year's Topps Big League. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm interested to hear your thoughts about these cards. If you are new, please hit subscribe. And if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Let's get right into it. So as many of you may have seen over this past week, there were some influencer cards that were announced that are going to be coming out of this year's Topps Big League. It's probably no surprise here that I am definitely a fan of this concept. I hope that they increase some of this stuff that they're doing. I mean, I know that Allen and Ginter is kind of focused on this sort of, I don't know if it's officially called this or oddball. I'm not sure if it's like that's the official title for it, but like the influencer, famous person type cards here. I mean, we have seen this in the past with top sets, like I said, with Allen and Ginter. There is like a upper deck set. I think it's Goodwin Champions, which is kind of like this as well, where they have like influencers, well, not influencers, but they have like famous people and non-sports athletes that are in those sets as well. So like I said, I'm a fan of this. I hope that they expand on this type of program. I mean, not just because I would like to be in a set. I actually have done some stuff where I design some cards for myself. Like as many of you probably know, I have a little bit of a background in graphic design, and to like be in a like Project 100 type set or some kind of project like that would definitely be something I would be interested in as well. I think these sets give, maybe younger collectors, maybe younger content creators that are in the sports card space. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of motivation for those types of people who are interested in getting into content or getting into some sort of thing with sports cards where, I know people hate the term influencer, and it's definitely something where I've seen on social media, the term has kind of gotten thrown around almost as like a derogatory type of thing, which I don't really understand. I guess, the term influencer maybe doesn't have as much of a positive connotation as maybe it should, in my opinion. I think, the feedback I saw on this was pretty negative. If I'm going to be completely honest, like I think I saw Watch the Breaks tweet about it, and he's like, he has a ton of Twitter followers, so like he has a ton of responses, and he has a ton of people that are going to be responding to his tweets. And he was one of the big accounts that I saw tweeting about this. I went through the comments for about 10 seconds because the first one that I saw was just, it was just all like gross, like I don't know. And I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest here, like I don't see why people wouldn't like this type of thing if you're a content creator. Like the thing that I thought was really weird was I saw like people who run businesses on social media were ones that were like talking about how this is a bad thing. And I just thought that was really strange, in my opinion. Like I really didn't see why that shouldn't happen, or why, well, I guess I don't understand why people on social media would look at this so negatively. Like, sure, whatever. Like maybe some people don't like the sports card investor. Maybe some people don't like slab stocks or any of the people on this list. I mean, I'm obviously not obviously, but I am a good friend with Aaron. Like I've known Aaron since we kind of got into sports card content creation, and he's going to be somebody that I'm actually going to have on this show probably in the next few weeks. Hopefully. I mean, I reached out to him like last week. We couldn't set up a time. So, I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll probably be having him on. I mean, Card Collector 2 is another guy that I have talked to multiple times. I mean, I'm in a group chat with like Aaron and Card Collector 2 and Sasha T and Cage and Andrew from Lucas Tigers and Bronze. I mean, we have like we started that group chat like, I don't even know when it could have been. It probably was like 2019, but either way, I think that's beside the point. I also met Stephanie at the Culture Collision. She was extremely nice. I met Tim at the Culture Collision too as well down here in Atlanta. I mean, they're super nice. And I mean, I've never met Jeff Wilson necessarily in person. And like I said, you can have your opinions on Jeff Wilson of whether, the content that he creates is good for the hobby or not. I mean, I think I'm on the fence a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think these people clearly are nice. They're nice people. And I don't know. I mean, it really was a little bit shocking to me to see the reaction. more as just like a person, less as like a content creator within sports cards, because I definitely did expect sort of like a little bit of a negative reaction to this. Because like I said, the term influencer in the hobby really comes with some pretty negative connotations, in my opinion. I actually want to pull up Stephanie's tweet about this because I thought that her tweet about it was really like the whole kind of, I thought her tweet was really I thought her tweet was good because it just is the whole like point of this. So it's like to be in Topps big league, to be on this Topps big league card is truly a dream come true. It fills me with so much emotion to know this card is something tangible my family and students can have to be proud of. It inspires me to give back so much more. Thank you, Topps. Thank you, hobby. It's like that's the whole point. And I mean, I think, you know, there is a horde of influencers, which is really interesting. And I mean, because I think the term influencer within the hobby, maybe without outside of the hobby, like I think it comes with negative connotations in some ways. I think, in my opinion, the influencer, sports card influencer, like here's my take on, like, you know, the type of content that I think is made on YouTube, like even my own content, to be completely honest. Like, if you are taking my advice, or if you're taking, you know, if I'm saying that, you know, there's a card that you should buy or there's a card that you shouldn't buy, like, don't take my advice 100%. Like, and I think it's maybe counterintuitive here to maybe say this, but it's like, if you're taking advice, like, I guess the whole point of why people don't like influencers is that they think that people are going to get like scammed by them, or they're going to get scammed by the advice that they're giving. And in my opinion, like, if anybody, and I get that maybe it could be kids that are taking some of this advice, but it's like, if you are taking advice from somebody on the internet, you need to be doing the research to, if you're do it, it's very tough to me, in my opinion, to be completely honest, because if you're taking advice from somebody on the internet, you should be doing your own research. And I think we give people who don't create content, who are like just consumers of hobby content, maybe not enough credit in terms of how smart I guess people think that they are. Like, I think that a lot of people view people who maybe are, obviously people that are coming in that are new don't have the information that we're, the context that we have, that have people who have been in this for, you know, I've been in sports cards since like 2018. So like almost half a decade at this point. And then there's people obviously that have been in here even longer than me, but I think we don't give people the credit. Like, I think if this was 2018, in my opinion, and the hobby was what it is now in 2018, I think maybe you could say there's more of, let's see, there's more of fault that people should be taking. But I think at this point in 2023, if you're taking the advice 100% and you're not doing the research yourself, then I'm less inclined to feel as bad. Like, I understand that people aren't going to do the research, but it's like, I think that we should be at a point where you need to be, like, and that's maybe the thing where I need to make more content about making sure that you're doing research and explaining the research. And it is a little bit nuanced at times, but I think, like, if you're listening to Sports Card Investor, unfortunately, like, yeah, sure, he has given out a ton of bad sports card picks and advice, but it's the same with, like, when it comes to, like, if you're following people's advice on gambling on Twitter, like, if you're following somebody on Twitter and just blindly following their advice, like, you're going to lose sometimes. And I think the whole, I feel it's twofold here. It's one, like, if you were listening to the advice in 2018, by 2020, you made a killing. If you were listening to the advice in 2020 to now, you probably lost a decent amount of money. So it's like, but there are principles from advice that you can take that I think will be timeless. So it's like I said, it's a very fine line, I think, between people doing it maliciously. Like, I think that there are people who are, you know, maliciously misleading people in this industry. but I don't think the people on this list necessarily are. Like, do I think that the videos that Jeff makes are great? Like, I think that they're well produced. He comes out with them weekly. I mean, or daily, excuse me. So I think from that standpoint, they're good. Is it the type of content that I like? No, not at all. Like, I think with slap stocks, that's maybe more of the content I like. I mean, obviously, Tim is a business owner. He has a slab strong. He has the big hat, which I love, which I thought is very funny that he kind of had the big hat, and then next thing you know, the big hat becomes like a social media trend. Ryan Card Collector too. I mean, is probably, I would say, one of the most important people in this industry. I would put my reputation behind him giving some of the best sound advice, I think most reasonable advice of anybody you can listen to on YouTube. Sure, he's not coming out with, top 5 tips video. Like, he has videos like that, but like if you watch a lot of his videos and you watch him go into card shows and how he does business and all this type of thing, I think he's very important. I mean, Stephanie is a breaker, so like they're all coming from sort of different industries. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think it's a very fine line between like the advice that should be listened to and you should take, and the advice that maybe you should stay away from. Like, I also think that it's kind of like my opinion a little bit on like financial content. Like, there are people that I follow on YouTube that give financial advice and do like financial type videos. And like, I get like sort of an icky feeling sometimes when I'm watching their videos, because they're like entertaining and they're like clickbaity. And it's like, I feel like sometimes when you're getting sound advice like that, or you're getting advice that has to do, with financial things, the entertainment value shouldn't be as important as the information. And I understand that the information is probably well researched and it's probably well scripted, but at the same time, like, I just don't know, I get sort of like a weird feeling when I see content about financial stuff that's like entertaining. I guess if it is sort of a weird thing, I think. But like, just in general, like, I think if it almost feels like if you're making content that is informational and good tips, I almost feel like it needs to be a little bit boring, in my opinion. Like, I get it, and it is sort of a weird line that I feel like on social media we run nowadays, where it's like social media has become sort of, it's like a bunch of different things. It's people's marketing, it's people's life updates, it's content, it's TV shows, it's like everything nowadays. So it's like, if you're just following what people are saying on social media, maybe you're not getting the full story. And when it comes to, I think, these influencer cards, I think, these people obviously have really great relationships within the industry. So, I like the list, and I'm hoping that they expand upon it in the future. And maybe, I also, so the last point actually I'm going to make in this video is like, people are complaining about the list, and it's like, it's a checklist that's going to be in Topps Big League. Like, it's not like and I understand, I'm hoping that it maybe will be in one of these bigger products in the future, but like, it's not like it's in some crazy product. Like, it's in Topps Big League, which is a product that's kind of made, I don't even know if it's not, I guess you could call it made for kids, but it's like a cartoony, it's, you get a lot of packs, but it's almost like there aren't any autos in it, and you're getting a lot of like packs so you can open. So it's fun. So it's like, I don't know. It's very strange. I think people's anger is very misguided, in my opinion, on this specific topic. I think that people are more angry that like they're not included, if I'm going to be completely honest, in these types of sets, because like, I'll be honest, like, I would love to be in a set like this, and maybe I just need to build relationships a little bit differently or a little bit more to be in a set like this. But at the same time, it's like, I root for this type of set rather than like try and tear it down, I guess, if that makes sense.